And welcome back to round 3 from the Eel Castle Cup 2. Let me quickly put up some deck list. Here you can see my Counterburn deck. I made a deck tech about it if you want to learn more. And my opponent, he's playing a Basalt Monolith deck. So I will talk more about the decks and the sideboarding and all that after the match. So stay tuned for round 3. This is a cool one. And game number 1. You have my opponent to the left and me to right. My opponent is on the play. Starts out with a Volcanic Isle and a Mox Emerald. And watch this. I remember this game. City of Brass and a Mox Sapphire. That's cool. Playing a Soul Ring into a Black Wise, so that I have 1 mana floating. I tap my City of Brass, takes 1 damage, cast an Ancestral Recall. And play a Black Lotus. Why not? And use the Black Lotus to cast a Wheel of Fortune. I think that's the most broken opening I've had in old school. It's great to have it on camera in a big tournament. And I am floating a mana, so I can play my second Black Wise. So he takes 6 damage. Oh my. He cast a Disenchant on one of my Black Wises. I remember I felt a little bad for my opponent when I just played out all my power. Speaking of power, why not play another one? Time Walk. And a Chain Lightning. Puts him down to 11. Play a Factory. And I cast our Bane Geyser for 4. Talking about card advantage here. I play a Mox Jet into another Black Wise. So now my opponent is down to 7. Plays a Sylvan Library. I have 2 factories out. So yeah, and I think he has that. It says a Strip Mine. Yeah, he has a Strip Mine. So I attack with 2 factories. I use Strip Mine on one of them and a sword on the other one. And I cast a counter spell on the Sword to Plowshare. And I use my 3rd factory to pump my attacking factory, so he takes 3 damage. Now we can look at the top 3 cards because of his Sylvan Library. Plays a land. Cast a Regrowth. Targeting the Time Walk. So we can take another turn, look at the top 3. He's really trying to dig for an answer. I'm not sure what that answer could be. He casts a Demonic Tutor. So he has 3 mana. Balance wouldn't do much. Yeah, he cast an Ancestral Recall. And since we are on camera, he let me take my last turn and attack for 4. What a great game. Here's my sideboarding. And keep in mind, I didn't know what deck he was on. I didn't know he was the power Monolith deck. So if I knew that, I think I would have kept in my counter spells. Oh, and he has that turn 1 library. So it's payback time for my lucky game 1. So I have a factory and 2 moxes. I often try to keep them in my hand if I'm not going to use them, but I am afraid of some broken opening with the mind twist, because then you feel really stupid if you didn't play them out. So I attack with my factory, and he cast a disenchant. See, I attack with my factory, and he has Divine Offering. You can see I have a Hercules Recall in my hand. We cast our Game Day Tome. Now we can draw an absurdly amount of cards. I play a new factory. I think there's a Psionic Blast in my hand. Like I'm thinking about casting it when he is tapped out. Okay, so at the end of his turn, I cast a Psionic Blast, but he is only down to 16. So I attack with my factory, and he has a Crumble. And that was like the Crumble and the Sylvan Library made me think, what is this? Because I thought it was something like the deck, but the deck doesn't play with... The deck could play with Sylvan Library, but I've never seen the deck playing Crumble. So here I cast a Shatter on the Gem Day Tome. But he still has that Sylvan Library. No, he still has that Library of Alexandria. So that's a problem. I draw a Time Walk, so why not cast it? Blackwise. He cast a counter spell. Looks like I was thinking about counter. So maybe I have that mana. Yeah, there's the mana drain. And he cast a Brain Geyser for 3. So now I have a 1 mana. So I cast a Fireball for 5. Sorry about the glare, because you can't see the Library of Alexandria. And here comes the dead giveaway. What? You have a Basalt Monolith? So I'm playing against a combo deck. So that was an eye-opener. So I cast a Hercules Recall and cast a Time Twister. And here I was just praying that he didn't have a counter spell. So that's a cool trick with a Hercules Recall, to cast it before you cast Draw 7 effect. He's down to 12. Let's see, but I am tapped out, so that's always a problem. Okay, so I see some red bolts in my hand, but no fast mana. So you're always hoping for a Black Lotus or some Moxes. And he had and Assessor's Recall at the end of turn. So now he has 10 cards in hand. Plays a Soul Ring, a Fellow Stone. Now he's down to 7, so now he can use Library to go up to 8. Cast a Mox Emerald, so he's down to 7 cards again. So, what to do? First off, I want to try to cast a Time Walk, because if that resolves, then I can start spewing out spells. But since he countered it, I think I'm just holding back and try to cast some burn spell at the end of his turn. After all, he's playing the Power Monolith deck, so I have to be a bit careful. Even if you don't have the counter spell or a shatter, it's important that you represent that, so your opponent can't just blindly play them out. So I cast a Mana Drain on the Jayemdae Tome. I'm not sure if that was the smartest idea, since he have that combo and he has so many cards already. But yeah, I'm not sure. So here I have 4 mana floating, if I remember it. Looks like I doesn't. Play a Blackwise. A Lightning Bolt. He's at 9 life. He responds with Divine Offering, my Blackwise. And I respond with a Hurtle's Recall, targeting myself, so I can save my Blackwise and reset my Moxes, but he responds with a Crumble on the Blackwise. Here I unfortunately forget that the Hurtle's Recall actually resolved, so I could have returned my Moxes and played them out and had them untapped. But yeah, that was stupid. So he cast a Wheel of Fortune, and I was planning to do the same, so I'm quite happy about that. He's down to, he only has 3 life. So now he needs to finish me before I get to untap. Tapping 3 mana for a Basalt Monolith. Then he's casting a Regrowth, targeting the Power Artifact in his graveyard, and he's casting that. But he doesn't have the Fireball, so he casts a Time Twister. So the Basalt Monolith and the Power Artifact is an infinite mana combo. So now I just need to cut his deck at the right spot, so he doesn't get the Fireball on his 7 card hand. And if that happens, I most likely win. So let's see. No, there was even 2 Fireballs. Oh, that's a terrible cut for me. Oh, but what a epic finish. So I'm on the play in game 3. Starts out with a Soul Ring into a Blackwise. Oh, and he has the library again. God damn it. But at least when you have a Blackwise, you can give those turn 1 library starts a good fight. Island, activate his library. So, plays a Mox, so he's down to 7 cards again. At the end of his turn, I play a Chain Lightning, puts him down to 11. And I just pass the turn. I think I see a Psionic Blast in my hand. So he takes some more damage, down to 8 life. Strip mine. So he's doing some thinking. Okay. Draws with the library. Plays a Chaos Orb. Plays a Black Lotus. He's holding up to blue mana. I just passed the turn. So in response, so he is activating his Chaos Orb, and in response I cast a Shatter. Then the Chaos Orb gets destroyed before he can flip it. He responds with Disenchant and Divine Offering on 2 of my artifacts, and I cast a Hercules Recall in response, and saving them both. Ancestral Recall, not good. Activate the library, play a land. Doesn't look like I have that third land, so I'm really tight on mana. I can of course cast Psionic Blast, but cast a Blackwise. He's using a counter spell for that. And he uses his Strip Mine. I float some mana and cast a Chaos Orb. Play a Soul Ring, Assault Monolith, Power Artifact, and a Fireball for 1 billion damage. GG. Yeah, so that was a cool match. It's always sucks to lose, but what a way to go. Okay, so let's talk about the match. Game 1, I have that broken insane start, and then the game is over. In game 2 and 3, he starts out with library in both games, so yeah, that happens. But in game 2 I get him down to 3 life, and he has that, he casts that Wheel of Fortune and draws 7 cards and plays a Basalt Monolith, casts a Regrowth on a Power Artifact in his graveyard, and then cast a Time Twister to find that Fireball, so it can't be more epic than that. But wait a second, I saw something when I was done with the video. Let me put up a print screen from the match. This was the end of round of game 2. I cast at Hercules Recall, targeting myself, and my opponent cast a Crumble in response. And I forgot that Hercules resolved, so I could have returned my Moxes to hand and played them out again. So then I would have had one red Mox and one black Mox untapped. And that will come into play because in the next picture here you can see we have both drawn 7 cards from that Wheel of Fortune he cast, and I had a red Elemental Blast in my hand, and the last 2 cards he cast was the Power Artifact and the Time Twister, so I could have had one red mana here to red Elemental Blast his Time Twister. So that was a pretty big mistake about forgetting that. So I could have been 2-0. Instead, I lost. So I just had to step in and tell you that. So back to the video. And game 3 also. I just have to try to finish him as soon as possible because of that Library of Alexandria. And I almost get there, but then I got hit for $1 billion damage. So yeah, that was the match. Let's talk a little bit about sideboarding, because it's interesting, because I didn't know he was a Power Artifact deck after the first game. I was a bit suspicious when I saw that Sylvan Library, because that's not what you typically see in the deck list. So I'll put that up with my sideboarding plan. I didn't see any creatures, so I took out Abyss and City in a Bottle, and I took out the Counterspell and replaced them with the red Elemental Blast, and I took in 3 Shatters because he had a lot of artifacts and Jame Tomes and so on. So after game 2, we did some sideboarding again, and I think I put in 1 or 2 Counterspell, but I didn't write it down, so I'm not quite sure. So Shatter does some of the things. Shatter can stop the combo just like Counterspell, and Red Elemental Blast can stop the Power Artifact part of the combo. So all my 6 cards here can stop the combo, and I don't want to sideboard out that much burn spells, because I need a critical number of them. So yes, so that was a nice one. I'm glad I got it on camera. Okay, that's it for me today. I'll be back for round 4. Take care.